She texted from Vegas. Just married my coworker. You're pathetic. So I blocked her cards, changed the locks, and next morning, the police were at my door. At exactly 2:47 a.m. on a restless Tuesday morning, my entire world tilted off its axis with a single notification. The glow of my phone cut through the darkness as a text from my wife, Linda, lit up the screen like an alarm bell I never saw coming. She was supposed to be in Las Vegas for a professional conference, the kind that included keynotes, name badges, and networking cocktails. Instead, the message stared back at me like a mockery of every promise we'd ever made. A photo accompanied the message, her and her coworker, William, smiling under the glaring neon lights of a cheap Vegas wedding chapel, holding a marriage certificate like it was a trophy. The full message read, "Just married William. Been sleeping with him for 8 months. You're pathetic, by the way. Your limp dick energy made this so easy. Enjoy your sad little life." For about 30 seconds, I just sat there motionless, numb, processing. Then I took a deep breath, tapped a single word into the response box, and hit send. Cool. There was no room for a fight, no screaming match, no desperate pleas for clarity. Because I knew something Linda didn't. She might have been quiet with her betrayal, but she was loud with her carelessness. Financially speaking, everything was in my name. The house, the bank accounts, even the credit cards she used were just authorized extensions of mine. So while she celebrated with champagne in Sin City, I opened my laptop with the precision of a surgeon and went to work. By 3:15 a.m., her cards were canceled. Every password she might have known changed. I revoked her access to everything. I screenshot every action for documentation. Then I called a 24-hour locksmith, cost me $300, but at that moment it felt like a bargain. The guy showed up at 4 a.m. and by 5 the locks were changed, the garage code was reprogrammed, and Linda had effectively evicted herself with that one text. I slid back into bed as the sun began to rise, pulled the blanket over my chest, and let out a breath I didn't know I'd been holding. When I finally stirred again at 8, it was to the sound of aggressive knocking on my front door. 2 police officers, one with a stiff posture and the other trying not to smirk, stood on my porch. "Sir, we received a call about a domestic dispute. Your wife claims you locked her out of her residence." I didn't flinch. Instead, I handed over my phone with the Vegas wedding photo still open. "She's not my wife anymore. She married another man 5 hours ago." The older officer's eyebrows lifted so fast they nearly disappeared into his hairline. The younger one bit back a smile. "She's saying you stole her money and property," the older cop continued. I pointed to a neatly organized folder on my entry table. Proof of ownership for the house, statements showing the cards were in my name, everything I'd prepared before dawn. "This is all mine. She was just a user on the accounts. I haven't touched any of her personal belongings." They radioed back. I could hear Linda yelling through their walkie-talkie, her voice shrill and raging. After a pause, the officer spoke into his radio. "Ma'am, you'll need to handle this through legal channels. He's provided sufficient documentation. We're not forcing entry." More screaming, more static, but the message was clear. She had no leg to stand on. The officers left, advising me not to destroy any of her items. I nodded, assured them her things would be boxed and waiting. I had no intention of stooping to her level. That afternoon, the circus rolled into my driveway. Linda clutching William's arm with a plastic smile. Her mother Barbara, who looked like she'd been crying and screaming for hours. And her sister Susan, with arms crossed and a gaze sharp as broken glass. William himself looked like a man who had just been informed that the prize he'd won was actually a lifetime supply of problems. I didn't say much, just pointed to the garage. Her belongings were packed, labeled, and waiting. "You have 1 hour," I told them. Barbara threatened to call the police again. "Go ahead," I said. "They've been here already." Susan called me a narcissist, said I'd trapped Linda in a loveless marriage. William tried to puff up his chest until I mentioned that I had a copy of their wedding certificate and was thinking about forwarding it to their company's HR department. They had a no fraternization policy. Suddenly, William didn't look so brave. Linda was a mess, crying, accusing me of financial abuse. But the real gut punch came when she tried to use her credit card at the U-Haul center. Declined. William had to foot the bill. The look on his face, pure regret. But things escalated from petty to absurd real fast. My lawyer called that night with a smile in his voice. "You're not going to believe this," he said. Linda was attempting to annul the Vegas marriage, claiming she was drunk and coerced. But simultaneously, she was attempting to claim half my house, arguing that we were still married when she left. She committed bigamy in writing. My lawyer laughed. This case is practically gift-wrapped. The social media smear campaign was next. Linda went public with posts framing me as an abusive, manipulative husband who forced her into emotional isolation. Her mom and sister shared every post. Some friends bought it. But then came the plot twist. My buddy David, a tech wizard, helped me recover deleted Facebook messages between her and William. The gems included lines like, "He's so stupid. I'm moving money out slowly so he doesn't notice. Almost got enough for my dream wedding with you, baby." Yeah, that joint grocery account she'd been stealing from wasn't joint, just mine. Screenshots, timeline, proof. I posted everything. Her narrative collapsed like a house of cards in a hurricane. The extinction burst was immediate. She tried breaking into the house at 3 a.m., screamed that I'd stolen her grandmother's jewelry, which her still-living grandmother was currently wearing. Claimed I'd killed a cat I never owned. Then had the audacity to call my mom crying, saying she wanted to come home. My mom, who'd always been sweet, simply said, "You should have thought about that before sleeping with William, dear." The cherry on top, a call from William's mother. "Sarah, you need to be a man and take Linda back," she said. "My son can't support her, and he made a mistake. Young men do stupid things." I was dumbfounded. "You're asking me to take back a cheater because your son can't handle the consequences? Marriage is about forgiveness," she snapped. I hung up, blocked the number, went back to my coffee. Linda's final text came from a friend's phone. "You ruined my life. I hope you're happy." I replied, "I am. Thanks for asking." Then blocked that number too. The divorce hearing? Spectacular. Linda showed up wearing white, like it was her wedding day. The judge nearly choked on his own disbelief. Her lawyer tried arguing that she'd been emotionally manipulated into the Vegas wedding. My lawyer handed over 73 pages of messages. Every lie, every transaction, every secret. "Can't wait to see his stupid face when he realizes I took him for everything," one message read. "Out of context," she claimed. The judge laughed. "What context makes that better?" Verdict: divorce granted. She got her car still under loan. Her clothes. Nothing else. And because I'd funded her career certification last year, she owes me alimony, $500 a month for 6 months. Not much, but enough to sting. Outside, Susan tried to throw coffee at me. Missed. Hit Sarah. A full-on coffee fight broke out between the moms. William didn't even show. According to Sarah, he was now engaged to a 22-year-old bartender he met at the casino reception. Linda collapsed in tears. This isn't how it was supposed to go. Her sister tried to comfort her. "You can stay with me." "I can't. Your apartment smells like cats and sadness." Even Susan looked done. Linda now lives with her parents. William's engaged again. Their company fired both for violating HR policy. Barbara's banned from 2 Starbucks. Susan posted a meme about cutting off toxic family. Sarah is suing Linda for emotional damages. Me? I sold the house at a profit, moved downtown, started dating Jennifer from the gym. She writes "not William" on my coffee cups. My lawyer framed their marriage certificate. It hangs in his office labeled, "Easiest case ever." To everyone who's wondered if I regret being petty, not one bit. She played stupid games. She won stupid prizes. And if you're reading this, Linda, yes, I know you're obsessed with Reddit. Sarah called you a gold-digging succubus at book club. Just thought you should know. Cool. Just thought you should know. Cool. Those words were the final nail in the coffin of a marriage that had already been burned to ash long before Vegas ever happened. As I hit send, a wave of calm settled over me. Not the kind that comes from revenge, but the kind that comes from clarity. For so long, I'd been walking on eggshells around someone who treated loyalty like an option and love like a game. But now, with one word, I closed the book she tried to rewrite in her favor. I didn't need to shout or expose her any further. The truth was already out there, in screenshots, in court hearings, in HR files, and most importantly, etched into the memory of every person who watched her public collapse. She thought she could spin a web so tight that I'd be trapped forever. But what she didn't realize was that I was never caught, just patient. That week, I took back everything. The condo became mine again. I had the walls repainted, replaced the mattress, donated the sofa she insisted on buying because it was Instagram-worthy, and threw out every wine glass that had been tainted with her lies. I rebuilt my routines, hit the gym at 6 a.m., cooked meals that didn't come with passive-aggressive comments, and spent nights watching shows that weren't picked to impress her friends. Jennifer, yeah, she's still around, thinks the whole saga belongs in a book, and maybe she's right. She brings me coffee every morning labeled, "Not William." And I can't tell you how much that simple joke means to me. It means I'm seen. It means I'm free. Linda, she's just a story now. One with a beginning I once believed in, a middle that nearly broke me, and an ending that I wrote on my terms. So if you're still reading this, whether you're someone who's been cheated on, gaslit, lied to, or just made to feel like you're too much or never enough, let me tell you this, you're not crazy. You're not weak. And you deserve a hell of a lot better than someone who'd marry their coworker in Vegas and call it love. Don't let anyone rewrite your story with their lies. Pick up that pen and write the ending yourself. Even if it starts with just one word. Cool. If you found this story wild, infuriating, or just satisfying as hell, hit that like button, smash subscribe, and stay tuned. Because sometimes the best revenge isn't getting even, it's getting better.